In this video, we're going to really understand the truth behind Andoni Iraola's tactics, discuss Bournemouth's intense pressing abilities, and how their early season data compares to a team that did pretty well in the Premier League just last season. Hello and welcome back to the Total Football Analysis YouTube channel. My name's Jack Ward, where throughout the week we're going to be diving deep into the tactics that make the beautiful game so brilliant. Let's go. Few teams in the Premier League have pressed as aggressively and consistently as Bournemouth under Iraola this season. Across the opening matches we've seen so far, their PPDA, which is passes per defensive action, shows a side fully committed to proactive defending. Bournemouth have recorded a pass per defensive action below 10 in 80% of these matches so far, which is a clear indicator of how little time and space they allow opponents on the ball. Their best figures came against Nottingham Forest, Wolves and Brighton, games where their press suffocated the opponent's build-up and directly contributed to positive results. But it's the contrast against the elite sides in the Premier League that is quite revealing. Against Manchester City, Bournemouth recorded a PPDA of 8.31, still very aggressive considering City's press resistance. But versus Liverpool, that number rose to 14.04, reflecting phases where Bournemouth prioritised containment over full throttle pressing, which I think shows that their press isn't reckless. It's adapted to the opponent and context of the match, which is very, very important. And I do think when we speak about adaptability in these managers, in this next generation of managers, that's a really important asset to have. Overall, an average pass per defensive action of around 9 across the first set of fixtures confirms that pressing intensity is the foundation of Iraola's tactical blueprint, not just for the defensive organisation, but for launching transitions and creating chances themselves. Semenyo has been central to Bournemouth's progression under Iraola, and he does embody Iraola's attacking philosophy. The Ghanaian has registered 6 goals and 3 assists, which sees him second in the overall goal involvements tally, just behind Erling Haaland. But it's not just his finishing, his pressing and off-the-ball work is absolutely outstanding. He regained possession in the final third 9 times, matching the highest figures in the league, and has created 11 clear-cut chances for his teammates. His 6 goals have come from an XG of 4.6 from 23 shots, giving him a conversion rate of 0.26 goals per shot. We can see why the top clubs, and certainly Liverpool, are keeping a very close eye on him, because his impact, data, eye test, they're matching up brilliantly. He has been exceptional. And I also think those numbers highlight his tactical intelligence. He's turning that pressing, that movement and smart shot selection into real attacking returns. He's the focal point of Bournemouth's transitions and the counter-attacks. He's been integral so far. Now, I should say a huge thank you to the brilliant writing team who put this wonderful work together over on the Total Football Analysis website. I haven't been able to include every piece of detail because they went so in-depth, so make sure you check out the full article with the link in the description. Don't miss out. Teenager Eli Kroupi has emerged as a lethal support act for Semenyo. At just 19, he scored 4 goals in only 158 minutes across 6 appearances. That's from an XG of just 1.56, and that's also just 8 shots too, which is a ridiculous level of efficiency for such limited minutes. Kroupi has shown he can score from distance, fitting perfectly with Bournemouth's growing threat from outside the box. The Cherries already lead the Premier League for shots from long range this season, and Kroupi, well, he's a key part of that. His composure and adaptability suggest he's not just a prospect, he's a crucial piece in Iraola's attacking blueprint right now. Now, if we look at the first 10 Premier League games that Bournemouth played, they showed a measured approach to tempo, blending controlled possession with reactive transitions. Operating mainly in a 4-2-3-1, they've maintained an average match tempo of 16.85, with small shifts depending on opponents and game state. Against the top tier teams like Manchester City, that tempo rose to around 17.41, reflecting bursts of accelerated play to exploit transitional moments. Against Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace, it dipped to 15.5 and 16.7, showing a more patient build-up. So again, similar to the PPDA that we spoke about earlier and that pressing intensity, there's such variety, and it does change based on the opposition, which is a crucial asset for a manager nowadays. And it does tell us that Bournemouth have the ability to change their rhythm. They can play short and intricate, or they can go more direct and vertical, depending on the context or the opposition. Tempo becomes a tactical tool to control possession, manage defensive risk, and trigger both positional attacks and counter-attacks. And Bournemouth, I think, again, I come back to the word, it's adaptability. It's the ability to change and ability to hurt different teams in different different ways. And again, if we come back to Bournemouth's first 10 games, it does reveal a side that blends structure, pressing intensity, and calculated offensive transitions. They've averaged 1.7 goals a game from an XG of 1.26. They've taken 11.5 shots per match with 4.4 on target. That's finishing above expectation. So clinical. They are not wasteful. They are exceptionally efficient in front of goal. And defensively, they combine compactness, dual engagement, and those proactive interventions, forming such a well-drilled unit that can frustrate any opponents in the Premier League and launch quick counter-attacks too. Bournemouth have become one of the most standout stories this season, and that is truly down to the tactics of Andoni Iraola. Structured pressing, intelligent transitions, and efficient attacking output. Key players like Semenyo and Kroupi have turned tactical principles into output, whilst the team's tempo and passing dynamics shows, and I'm going to use the word for the final time, I promise you, flexibility, and almost this opponent-aware approach. I'm not sure if that's something that's been used before, but I've made it now. They can change their approach and change the way that they approach games purely based on that opponent they're up against.